it's really like hard to like sing about what you sing about sometimes too. Maybe it's not hard for you, but just like as a listener, I was like, oh my God, you must be like so brave to have to like talk about.
What happens when you become highly successful? Well, those who are morally good will be happy for you, and they will tell themselves that if you can do it, then they can do it too. Some people, on the other hand, usually turn into a green little monster we call jealousy. So it is not one bit surprising that after publishing a massively successful album called Sour, Olivia Rodrigo got to meet and talk to a few of those little green monsters. You might love her, you might like her, or you might not know who she is. That does not matter. This video is here exactly for that reason. Before the end of the video, you'll know more about the young singer and you will know more about life in general. Consider subscribing if you find these types of videos interesting. And now, without any more delay, let's jump straight into the story. In an interview with Rolling Stones, Olivia gave us a lot of answers. She started with a sentence that is not unlike how most Gen Z people feel these days. She said that there is nothing more painful than the feeling of loss. I am pretty sure we can all relate to that. She answered by that quote on a question as to why her songs were so emotionally charged. Then she talked a bit about how she started as an actress and how she got to where she is right now. We will talk about that later in the video. As the interview got into the third act, she said the following: "Putting out music in the age of social media can be really daunting, and I think people hold young women to an incredibly unrealistic standard. I don't think we as human beings are supposed to know what thousands of people think about what we wore or what we said or how we talk. I think having that separation is really important, realizing that that's not real life. You know what I mean? The world that is created online. It's just one facet of this very big human existence. Yeah, putting out anything these days on the internet can be really daunting in general, let alone a song that is actually pretty good, and especially if you get popular with it." The interviewer named Alanis Morissette shared her experience from the time when she achieved similar heights of stardom as Olivia has. At one moment, Olivia said this: "We had a similar experience, where we had a really successful debut album, which is weird. At least for me, it felt super quick. It felt overnight, and I've been working and writing songs since I was 5 years old. It definitely wasn't overnight. But I'm writing songs in my bedroom to, oh my gosh, lots of people know this song was really quick for me. I feel obviously so lucky, but sometimes it just feels like it doesn't have to do with me." To that, Alanis replied with all eyes on the fishbowl: "There was a lot of bullying and a lot of jealousy and a lot of people whom I'd adored my whole life being mean girls." On this comment, Olivia replied simply and concisely with same. It does not take a detective to deduce that she was on the wrong side of mean girls when she got so popular just a few months ago. She said very little about the jealousy she felt coming from other celebrities, and considering how smart she is, she probably won't say anything more than a few comments here and there. She knows how the celebrity game is played, and it can be won by turning people against yourself. Olivia was born in February of 2003. She is just 18 years old. Considering that a celebrity channel is talking about her, that means that she's very popular already. Her father is of Filipino descent and her mother is Western European. She had voice lessons from a very young age. She learned piano and then learned guitar when she was 12. While this video is about her album, which became very popular, Olivia Rodrigo was somewhat famous even before her first song ever hit #1 on charts. When you scroll through her Wikipedia page, you will see that she is a singer, songwriter, and actress. Her first ever on-screen appearance was back in 2015 on a TV commercial. Soon after, she made her acting debut in a direct-to-DVD movie called An American Girl: Grace Tears Up Success. In 2016, she portrayed the role of Paige Oliveira in a Disney Channel show named Bizaardvark. She continued to play the role of Paige for 3 seasons. Then in 2019, she got a starring role in a spoofy Disney Plus show. For that show, she wrote one song and co-wrote another song. The reviews for her performance were overwhelmingly positive. And speaking of songwriting, as Olivia was growing up, she was listening to a genre of music called alternative rock. The two bands that are best known in that genre are Green Day and the White Stripes. She also was a fan of Taylor Swift. Soon enough, Olivia became interested in songwriting and started working on songs of her own. That brings us to the next chapter of this video. Needless to say, the songs and genres that she was listening to made their mark on her creative mind. Speaking of her singing career, in 2020 she made 2 agreements with Interscope Records and Geffen Records. At the beginning of this year, she released her debut single named Driver's License. In the first 7 days, it broke the record by having 80 million streams. It reached the Billboard Hot 100's #1 spot, and it reached the #1 spot in other countries as well. While she was already somewhat popular, thanks to her roles in the shows, the first song helped her become an overnight sensation. In that aforementioned Rolling Stones interview, she said the following about her debut song: "I just remember writing it and feeling like it was a page ripped out of my diary because it was so intimate and vulnerable. I just think there was no other option for me. I had to write it. I had to write it for me, to get it out. I would feel sick if I kept all of that in, but really at the core of it, I had to do it for myself." Her second song was released back in April of this year, and while it wasn't as popular as the first one, it still got the 6th spot on the Billboard Hot 100. By doing this, she became the first ever artist whose first 2 songs went into the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 100. This song was called Deja Vu. Her third song, called Good For You, was as successful as the first one. A few days after the third song was released, came the album, which was the reason for some people's jealousy. The album named Sour was critically acclaimed. Many people loved it. On Billboard 200, it got the #1 spot and kept it for 5 straight weeks. Just like every other person in the world, Olivia Rodrigo still has much to learn when it comes to dealing with jealous people and bullies. Just stand up to them once, and they will not try to bully you ever again if they are smart. With that, this video comes to an end here. Consider subscribing if you like this video and press that bell icon to get notified when we come back with more intriguing content. Thank you for watching, and we will meet you in the next one. Until then, have a nice day. Bye!